does reciprocative. So the fifth canto, which we are discussing today, that's mainly work with the cover the sthana portion of Bhagavatam. So in the fifth canto, there are two sections again. So first is horizontal structure of the universe is described, the Bhumandala, and then vertical description is mentioned. So in the first few chapter, maybe around till 20 chapter, the how Priyavata Maharaj, when he was on chariot, when he saw the sun is not doing justice, he is giving sunlight to the half of the universe and not to the second half. So he manifests himself as sun god, and then he drove his chariot all around the world. So like this, he protected the all the citizens on the Bhuloka. So or Bhumandala. So that time when he was roaming around with the chariot, he made seven dweeps, seven islands, and like that with the pastime of how he did it, that is there in the first chapter, and then first to 15th chapter. Then in description of Jambudvipa, how the mountains and the Ganga, how Ganga flows, and in the 19th chapter, the glories of Bharatvarsha, how much glorious people who reside in Bharatvarshas are. And then other islands which are there, the seven islands. So one is already covered. The remaining six are described in the 20th chapter, and how the residents they pray to the Lord, their presiding deities. And second part, the 14 planetary system, the vertical structure of the universe is described. First, till now we covered the higher planetary system. Then, in brief, we saw about the Dhruv Loka, the dolphin, and the remaining thing. And this 24th chapter, which we are discussing today, is describe all the places which are below the sun planet. So, lower planetary system, which are covered in 24th and 25th chapter. So, in the 24th chapter, we already seen below sun there is a Rahu planet. Is like a demon who got the planet on himself, and there are different lokas, Siddha Loka, Charna Loka, Vidya Loka, and there is a discussion of Antariksh, how the places they where Yakshas, Rakshasas, and Pishachas stays, and the below Antariksh, Earth is described very briefly because already Shukdev Goswami described about the Earth planet, and then he started describing about the subterranean heavens or below Swarga. And then how we describe like who reside there, Daityas, Danavas, Nagas, and these people live there. And first he give the overall description of these planets, and then after he describing one by one this in order all these planets. So earlier I was thinking like below the earth or whatever the planets are there, those are hellish planet, but hell is actually below this seven planet. Like when this seven planets finish, then after the hellish planet comes. So we see a description also in Ramayana, like when Ravana, when he goes to fight the Yamraj. So when he goes through that way, he found that there is a places of enjoyment, then suffering, enjoyment, and at last suffering, where he found Yamraj, and then fought like he got defeated and came. Sorry, Yamraj leaves him, and then like that, Ravana's come in the mood of pride. He comes back. So in that also description come like how this lower planet system also have the enjoyment. Their enjoyment, abundance of enjoyment is there, and that already been discussed in the previous shlokas also. So that enjoyment of the Bilvas Sarga is much more greater than the higher planetary systems, and look like when someone does pious activity, look like they done very pious activity, that's why they are enjoying there. So and they have sense of eternity, because they don't have day and night, there's no question of sun rising and sun setting, so they feel we are living eternally there. And in the Atala plant we saw the description, because of their power and all, they think themselves as a god. So the lower planetary system, they are full, the people who stay there, they are in ignorance, because they don't know the real fact which is there of the material world. But the higher plane system, they might have less enjoyment as compared to the lower planetary system, but they are very much in enlightenment because they have knowledge about themselves, like what is my constitutional position. They know that I am the servant of the Lord, and by the Lord I got this position to managing the affairs of this cosmic material world. And they have the consciousness. They know that when sunrise, sunset, and every day our days are passing, we going near to death. And they also have the sense of uh, the temporariness of this material world. They also have the knowledge of how material world is temporary. So in that case, it's look like earlier it will look like the lower plane system are in positive, but actually higher plane systems, people those who are staying there, they are much more in greater advantage than the lower plane system, because the thing is they think that they will not die, but description came before only that Sudesh Chakra come and kills all the residents there. So death is there. It's not like they will not. They that is like as sure as that we see. So that will come there. And who goes to the upper plane system, middle plane system, and lower? So one shloka in Bhagavatakam, Urdham Gachanti Sattvatta, Madhya Tishtanti Rajasa, Jaganya Gunavrittistha, Adho Gachanti Tamasa. So those who are mode of ignorance, they go to the hellish planets, the lower plane system. This shows they are in mode of ignorance. They mainly deal with mode of ignorance. And like this, the we heard the description of Atala planet, where the son of Mayadana, that is name as Bala. Bala stays there. And in the shloka, the translation Prabhupada says that he created 96 kind of different types of mystic powers. So can a demon like Bala can create 96 kind of mystic power? He cannot, because he is not a god. Only God can create mystic power. He can just manifest those mystic power. He can draw us from the Lord and he use, then again the Lord can take whenever he wants. So it's already like those manifestation with the power which is doing that come from the Lord. It's not actually is created. He manifests those different kind of mystic powers. And one of the mystic power is described here, that when he yawns, then he created three categories of women. One category who are interested in their own to marry and on their own societies, on their own set of people which belong to their category. Second type is the people who marry from other than what is their uh, people who are there with them. And third one is those they change every now and then husbands. So these women, they got the task of populating the Atala planet, and by this way they try to populate this Atala planet. And when the any human being comes there or any living entity comes there, and as soon as someone comes, they capture them and they give them some drink, and by that they feel so much of agitated, so much of intoxicated by the lust, and then they think themselves as a god. So that is a very precarious condition of the living entities residing there. And then below that we saw like the Vitala planet, the planet of Lord Shiva. And we heard many planets where Lord Shiva is residing. So one of the planet is in this Vitala planet, where he is in charge of this uh, Vitala planet. What he does, he just for the benefit of residents of Vitala planet, he unite with his consort Bhavani, and then when emulsification happen of their secretion, that create a chemical which, when heated with fire, can generate gold. And Prabhupada elaborately explained on this the process which is given here, that is alchemist process. Prabhupada say in medieval time, people were trying to use this process. Generally, the German people or the European country people, they were trying to use this process to produce gold, but they utterly failed to do so. And we heard Prabhupada speaking in few lectures that how to do this process, how the yogis do this alchemist process, that it should be the mixture of mercury and the base metal. So they drink the mercury, the yogis, they drink the mercury. Mercury is very poisonous for health, but somehow the yogis have this kind of power. They drink the mercury, and morning when they pass water on the base metal, and when they pass on that, it converted into gold. So this process is described by Srila Prabhupada, and look like the people of Vitala planet, they are very much attracted to the gold, because uh, its description comes like where they are wearing the ornaments made of the gold, and dedicated shloka for that look like is shows like how much they are attracted to gold. But we also heard in the previous lecture that in higher planetary system there is a mountain named as Loka mountain, which differentiate between Aloka and Loka people. So behind this planet, there's a full land made up of gold, but people are not interested to reside there or or accumulate gold. But since the people in lower planetary system, they are in ignorance, they feel the sense gratification or the opulence or the metal and gold. That is all in all. They don't have their knowledge, any kind of knowledge of who am I and what and all. So that's why they are very much attracted to this process of alchemist, and they produce gold and enjoy life in that way. Prabhupada gave one more point of the how Sanatana Goswami used this process of alchemist, and he says when in the proper way, properly initiating a living entity, a lowborn person can also become a brahmana. So this is a very mm, great thing, like how the acharyas use this process, and actually he quotes from the tantra, what you call, tantra description of the Vedas. Tantra mainly means basically means the procedure, like you do this you will get this, you'll do this you'll get this. So tantra speaks about many things, like let's say for example ekadashi is, if Vaishnavas also follow and non-Vaishnavas also follow. What is the mode of non-Vaishnavas? They follow this, like if we do this we'll get this, the result of the ekadashi. But Vaishnavas don't have this kind of mood, like we are doing ekadashi for getting some result, material result. Our mood is to please the Lord, remember the Lord. So in the both way the tantras can be used. So we heard of tantra mainly in black magic. When people do black magic, we say these are doing tantra. So one can use positive sense also and negative sense also. And our Acharya, Sanatana Goswami, gives us such a way, like even we also got converted to this method only. Like we are ordinary living entity who are roaming here and there. And Prabhupada says those are eating milichas and yavanas, serving them, and eating non-veg and intoxication, gambling and doing illicit sex. And we are also one of them. And somehow by the mercy of acharyas, we got by proper procedure which recommended by acharyas, we also now on the line of becoming qualified brahmanas by the process of diksha. But people in the lower planetary system, they don't have that kind of mood. They are blinded by the pride of opulence, and they forget the Lord. And we heard many pastimes, like how because of opulence people commit big offenses. And one of the very famous pastime is of Nal Kubera and Manigriva. So they were very much intoxicated by the lust and the pride of the big and son of Kubera, and they were playing in the very holy river. They were playing there with the naked women, and they were also naked by enjoying like that. And when that time Narad Muni comes, and he sees them. So as soon as women sees Narad Muni, they cover themselves and they hide themselves. But these Nal Kuber and Manigriva, because of their pride or arrogant, they didn't cover themselves, or they didn't pay respect to Narad Muni, which is offense. And then, but Narad Muni is a pure devotee of the Lord. They take this opportunity to purify or give them a chance to come back to their constitutional position or become a pure devotee. And like is when we heard the pastime of Mirgari also, his friend Parvat Muni also says, "You are like a catalyst, or you are like a touchstone. Who whoever come in your contact, they also become devotee of the Lord." So somehow Narad Muni came in contact, or Nalkuvera Manigriva, they came in contact with Narad Muni. And Narad Muni gave the curse: you want to enjoy, you want to be naked, may you became like a tree in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And we see the pastime how Lord comes and just to fulfill the words, when they realize like we did such a great offense, then they ask, well, how we can come back. So Narad Muni says, like, Lord himself will come and take you out from this form. And they waited for many, many years on the tree. When they were tree, for many, many years they were fleeing, they were doing atone for what they sinful activity they did. And Lord remember this wonderful pastime of Damodar Leela, when Lord remember that the curse which was given by, or the boon given by the Narada Muni, just to fulfill that word, Lord went outside and he stuck his mortar between those Arjuna trees, and that, like that, Nalkuvera and Manigriva comes. So this is a pastime where it shows like because of the pride or the the opulence which blinded their eyes, they became intoxicated by that and they committed offense. And one more pastime we heard, like how Indra, he also, when because of the pride or the opulence which he have, he forget his position, and he offended the Brahmanas over there. If I'm not wrong, one of the Saptarishi he offended, and they cursed Indra that you go and you want to enjoy here like a hog, may you become a hog in the earthly planetary system. So he goes there, he comes here, he fell down, he become hog. And describe he's very much enjoy. He every now and then he is having sex with his wife. Even hog have they don't discriminate between the who is a wife, who is a sister or mother or whatever it is. They enjoy like this. So that time he was very much into enjoying the family life with hog family life. And when the time of this comes, when this curse was about to over, Brahma comes and he's trying to call him, please come back, we'll go there, and you have to take care of this whole Swarloka. But he says, how can I leave this? How can I leave my family? How can I leave my wife and children? And I'm enjoying with them, having eating which people generally don't eat. I'm eating those things, and I'm happier. But the pastime called that there's a river nearby. So Brahma first throw the children of Indra into that river, and they get the Shalisha body and they leave from there. And Indra become very angry on Brahma. How come you killed my sons? You killed my sons. You are not a good person, like that. He was very much angry. Still, like he was not ready to come. And then after he took his wife also and throw the wife into the river, and the wife also got Shalisha body, and she also left. And then he became very very angry on Brahma that you took away my wife, my children. How I'll live in this? Better I also die. And that time Brahma also throws Indra also, and then he get the form of again back he get the form of Indra. And then after he get his senses come back and he realizes so how much difficult the the network of Maya, of illusion, whichever body we get, we feel like this is a all in all, and we feel like this is something which I have to take care of. This is this bodily digestion which I am getting. If I take care of that, that is completely life, the life in whole. But you see, like how these two pastime, which I am able to remember, when someone is intoxicated by lust or opulences and all, so they commit big big offenses. And similarly, the lower peninsula, the people who are staying there, they are like atheistic people. They don't believe in God, and they are in terms they and translation purpose says them as a demon. They are demonic qualities. So, and they don't remember the how the Lord is, how great He is, and they are fully enjoying the material life. They're thinking this is all in all. Description also comes that they are never getting old. The wrinkles doesn't come, which we saw before also. Like they are they don't lose their strength. Like after some years, we feel we lose our strength, but in low pain system, they never lose their strength. They all always feel very youthful. But that is actually when Vaishnava sees that this kind of thing, they feel very pity on them. They don't appreciate like the people who are living in the lower pen system. By seeing them, they feel very pity. Oh, so much of they went into so much of ignorance, and they're committing very very offenses. And pure devotees, a sadhaka with the sakam bhava, or the intention of enjoying, he might be liking these places or want to go these places. But pure devotee, or those people who are aspiring to become pure devotee, by seeing this pastime, they feel very very pity on them. So they were so much of in to ignorance, where they are not able to remember their real position. And but someone get the opportunity to to go there and praise them. So Vaishnavas are ready to go to this low pain system in such a in only mood of preaching them and bring them back to the real position. That is the mood of Vaishnavas. So as I was talking about this Sanatana Goswami thing, like how with the alchemist process, where Prabhupada says in the purport, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is trying to turn milichas and yonas into real brahmanas by properly initiating them and stopping them from engaging in meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. One who stop these four principles of sinful activities and chant the Hare Krishna mantra can certainly become a pure brahmana through the process of bona fide initiation assisted by Sanatana Goswami. So this process, which Sanatana Goswami is recommending, is very much necessary for the propagator of we are propagating Krishna consciousness. So we also got converted or transformed like this. We got transformed into this like, and our mood also should be like we should also bring other people also and into this and make them proper brahmanas. And Prabhupada generally, when he sees the precarious condition of this material world and how people are enjoying in the higher plane system and lower plane system, he gave one very wonderful example of jail. Like a person in jail, he can have the shekel of gold, shekel of silver, shekel of iron, but doesn't matter. He is still in a jail only. So people who are there in the material world, higher in higher plane system, or this current Bhumandala, or lower plane system, they're still in the jail only. And in these situations, the very inauspicious thing is they don't remember the pastimes of the Lord. And that's why the Gunti Maharani also says those who are exhausted, those who are materially exhausted, they can only approach the Lord. That she says, Tvam Ankinchana Gochara. Those people who are materially exhausted, they can only approach the Lord. But the pitiful condition of this lower penny system, they are always want to enjoy this material conditions or the opulence which they have, and they are not able to remember the Lord. During the morning walk, Prabhupada used to see a surfer, means those who are surfing on the ocean. By seeing them, Prabhupada used to say, you might be enjoying now, but you have to suffer the reaction of that. Maybe you'll get the fish body in next life because you're enjoying like a fish. So those who are enjoying in such a way, those who are into full of bodily consciousness, forgetting what is the real, what is the how rare this human form of life and what one should aim for in this human form of life. When someone forget that, and that is a position one goes more and more into the ignorance, and to bring them back is very difficult. Only the process of knowledge or through bhakti one can bring them uh, into their proper position. But they think that this is the real happiness which they are enjoying, or gratify the senses. Happiness we can derive through our senses only. Just to by gratifying the senses, we can derive happiness. But their degree of happiness depend on the degree of development of their consciousness. If the someone have the developed consciousness, for him happiness and distress is on different level as compared to the undeveloped consciousness. You can see the example of trees. And trees, they can stand for many years, thousands of years in one place, and they are suffering. The winds are coming, heavy cold weather is there, snowfall, and different phases they go through. But they don't have that much developed consciousness. They feel like if someone asks the tree, and are you happy? They say like I'm happy. Sometime a drizzling happens, sometime wind flows. I feel this happy. But for human being, this lack of enjoyment is very low grade of enjoyment, because their consciousness is developed. When someone have developed consciousness, they can understand, or they can relish happiness and distress on different levels. So similarly, we are all looking for the real happiness. We all want to get the real ultimate happiness. But can one get real happiness through the body only? No. Actually, who is looking for the happiness? That we can understand a dead man and living man. The body is same in the dead man and the living man. But dead man, if someone proposes a beautiful woman to him, he'll not enjoy her, because the actually who is looking for the enjoyment is spirit spark. The living entity, the jiva, is actually looking for the enjoyment. So how the living entities, he can get enjoyment, and when he comes to this real position, the nature of living entities to serve. Many times we heard from the proper lecture in this class, the living entity nature is to serve, and if they are not serving the Lord, they serve someone else. But we can be only happy when we serve the Lord, and by serving the Lord, we can by satisfying the senses of the Lord, we will also satisfy our senses and will become happy, the real happiness, which is beyond this material temporary world. And the shloka come, Atmendriya priti vancha tari boli kam, Krishnendriya priti icha dhare prema naam. That once when someone is desiring to gratify one's own senses, that is known as kama, the lust. But if someone is desiring to please the sense of the Lord, that is known as prema. So therefore, this satisfying Lord's senses in the fold of brahmacharya, when we accept this ashram, where we have the opportunity to satisfy the Lord's senses, and we are expected to engage in every now and then in the service of the Lord, and to please Him for His pleasure. But if we have the mode of enjoying that before serving the Lord, that is also come into the karma only. That is gratifying one's senses before gratifying Lord's senses. That is known as karma. So somehow we got the platform where we can engage maximum time our day into the service of the Lord, and we can utilize the rare opportunity of this human form of life into the service of the Lord. By doing so, we can we can get the real happiness which the Shastras describe, and we can fix in our real position, which we are the eternal servant of the Lord, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this mood that who am I? I am the Gopi Bhattariyu, Gopi Bhartur, Padakamalya, Das Das Anudas. So I am the servant of the Gopi Bhartur, or Gopinath. I am the servant of them. So this mood, if we develop, actually the real happiness when we get, then we have developed the uh, service attitude, and by service attitude only we'll feel satisfied. By our skill, by our knowledge, if we try to satisfy the Lord, he may or he'll try to get satisfied. Means many time heard our services to the Lord is like we are giving a sweet milk or the uh, kheer to Lord with the putting some dust particle over it, because our consciousness is contaminated. With that mode, if we serve the Lord, it will very difficult. Like Lord has to remove the scent particle, and He is try to accept that offering. But if our conscience is pure, our mood is proper, then if we serve that item to Lord, Lord will accept very happily. And when Lord get pleased, automatically we'll also feel satisfied. That's why developing service mood and having the proper consciousness that I am the servant of Lord, and I should try to somehow or other please the Lord in such a way that He gets satisfied and our superiors get happy and satisfied with that. If in that way if we serve the Lord, then we'll also feel a satisfaction. So that is a real happiness. Mainly in the Gita, the knowledge of the God is given, like how Lord Krishna is there with his opulence and all. But when someone knows that properly, what is the greatness of the Lord through Bhagavad Gita, and one go through this Lord pastimes with the material nature, then he can understand the how Lord is great and how I am insignificant, and that will also help ones to develop service attitude. Like he is only my protector, he's only my maintainer in that way. So, and by that one can understand this the happiness that is beyond the temporary manifestation. So with this mood, if someone serve the Lord, then he'll feel satisfaction. But the main obstacle comes when someone goes on the path is to the mind troubles us. The mind or the other senses which we have, they are not that much purified in the that we can serve the Lord with the proper mood. And maybe now we heard we'll try to do that, but after some time we have the tendency to forget the things, and again we goes into gratifying our senses. When someone gratify our one own senses is totally because of the ignorance or lack of realizations in the Krishna consciousness. So we should pray for the realizations. May Lord gives us more and more realizations, more and more intense realizations. Every now and then we are getting some small realizations, but that will stay for some time. Then again we forget those things, and then we move on by that way. But if we pray to give me higher and more deeper realizations, then there's a position. Then there's a some what you call some level will come where we'll able to see ourselves in proper position, and then in that realizations we'll able to serve the Lord in proper mood and in proper method. And how to do that? Our acharyas, our Srila Prabhupada gives us many processes to serve the Lord. And in our Sharanam camp also, Kartikeyaji covered this area, covered this point, that with Sharanagati only we can serve the Lord. And when with Sharanagati we serve, in the Lord also hears those prayers. So therefore the do's and don'ts in bhakti is very important. One should know what are the do's and don'ts. One should try to what one should do, one should avoid. And this purport Prabhupada covered, like the militias and the Iona, they were engaging in illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. So they are avoiding these four things, and they are engaging in chanting of Hare Krishna. These are the basics, do's and don'ts, which are required of the person who is into the Krishna consciousness. Or people say like just by following these four things, one can become human being, because the shloka comes that ahar nidra bhaya maithunam cha Samanam etat pashubi narana. Dharma se dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesha. Dharme nahina pashubi samana. So this fourth thing, ahar nindra bhaya maithun, this is which is common in living entities and animals also. But only thing which can differentiate, which is dharmo itesham adhiko vishesha, which is vishesha, adhika vishesha, or the special in living or human form is dharma. We follow our dharma and we follow the do's and don'ts which are described by our acharyas, then we'll able to call ourselves as a human being. So the principle which Prabhupada gave us, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, these makes us human beings. And those can become gentlemen. By doing this, we can become gentlemen. And our Acharya says this place is not for live. This place is not fitting for the gentleman to live. So now we became gentlemen. Then we should leave this place as soon as possible. It's like a toilet room. One should come, do his things, and leave as soon as possible. So now we're trying to become gentlemen. Like already we left all these things, but certainly we still have the enjoying tendencies. Or the chanting which you are doing, Prabhupada says chanting 16 hours minimum without offenses. Without offenses, I should chant 16 hours. So for me, like till now I didn't came to that platform. Certainly I my enjoying the things which are not prescribed for renunciant or the practitioner of Krishna consciousness, or those who are aspiring for the becoming pure devotee. But if we follow strictly what are the rules and regulations given by the acharya, then we'll be called as human being. And then once we become gentlemen, then there is a chance of going back to God. Therefore, the different modes are also affects us when we try to become Krishna conscious, try to develop the service attitude. So this metal body is subjected to the it influenced by the three modes of metal nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And it is said in Kali Yuga, most of the people are Shudras, and the Shudras have this. They are mainly their body is in mode of ignorance, but the soul is not in goodness or passion or ignorance. Soul is always Sachidananda, but because of identify oneself as the body, even when the secondary creation, when Brahma does, he created five kind of things. This so one of them is second or third. I am not able to remember. So in that he make them living entities identify themselves to the body. So this is also one kind of ignorance. The five kind of ignorance he created. The very first thing he created the five kind of ignorance. So in that one of the ignorance is to identify oneself as a body. So because that we are not able to practice because our body is subjected to the three modes of material nature. But to practice devotional service or bhakti, one has to come to mode of goodness. In mode of goodness, one's dealings are uh, are very is very particular what to speak, what not to speak, how much to eat, like how much he should not eat. The sleeping also he take care of this. So when someone tried to come to mode of goodness, he should be having the control of these things, like especially these four things. If we take care of the ahar, nidra, and bhayamaitan, then slowly by following the rules and regulations, we can also try to come to mode of goodness. When someone is mode of goodness, someone is gentleman, is in lifestyle, and is try to following try to imbibe the mood of or service attitude. In these combinations are there, then there is a chance of one to feels or get some advancement and get the aim of breaking the cycle of birth and death. And in that mode only one can have the tendency or the mood to please the Lord. So this rare opportunity which we got, we should try to not miss this, and seriously we should practice devotion service, and by that way we'll able to serve the Lord in proper conscience. So with this I like to pause here. Any questions or anything you want to share? Yes.
Prabhuji, you mentioned in that in the winter planet they are interested in gold and local and that were they were saying that so fields of gold were able they were not interested. But the description comes like but whatever was falling on that ground, it was getting financial like the rewards. That's what they were not interested to live in that land. That not interested in the gold and all.
Not interested in gold means like even though so much of gold is there, they are not desiring to go and bring some gold and enjoy in that way.
Thing was there like whatever was falling on that gold, everything was getting rewarded.
Getting in whatever falling in that gold is converted into gold. That is the thing. Whatever falls there, it become gold. Right.
Without sunlight, there is no life, no leaves.
Without sunlight, huh?
So what about lower planets? How they are living?
Okay. Very wonderful question. I didn't think of that. For somehow they are, it's not like they are not eating something, they are eating something. But what they are eating, how they're getting cooked, even the sun planet is not there in the spiritual world also. And they are also living only. They are not like, they don't have any vegetation to cook and all. Maybe because of the money which they have, they are able to generate the heat. And we see that the heat example is there, like how can they can generate heat also without the knowledge of sunlight and all. I'm just speculating. Maybe because of the money, they are getting sufficient effulgence is there. They from that they are. I don't know. I have to check. Very nice question. Yes, Harish.
So those lower planetary systems, so according to various scriptures, so the tendency there to do sense education without very whole. So because of those sense education, they are incurring sins. I know they are filling their bags with sins, and that would affect the nation. Because the tendency is there, like the nature of the knowledge to do sense education. That sense education will affect their nation.
What I heard is only in this Earth planet we can create karma. Other planets there's only meant for enjoyment. So whatever they did, they are just trying to enjoy. Then
Same merits they have.
for same in down also. How they are going there, that is I doubt on it. I said like because of piety, still I'm doubtful on that. Maybe for Shiva we can say those are want who are worshipping. It's come in a transition. The worship of Lord Shiva, they can go there also. But in other planet, like who is worshipping Maya, Danav, and so that is still.
And one more question. Vitala, where Lord Shiva, Bhavan, Bhavan. So Lord Shiva is like one of the 11 Rudras.
Harish. Yes, sir.
I think you mentioned that everyone in the lower planets is not great. But we see that Nihara was also given a place in the lower planets.
But the residents are atheist. Those who are living on those planets, they atheist means those who don't follow the Vedic scriptures. Theistic and atheistic. Atheists are the people who don't follow the Vedic scriptures. Those who follow Vedic scripture, they generally go to higher places. Still, like again, my understanding which I have. But the Prabhupada says he used the demon word in the translation. Both the translation he uses. One is they themselves think as a god, so that is also atheistic quality. And this the planet of Lord Shiva, and the demons who live on that planet with their wives decorate themselves with various ornaments. Again, that demons word is used. So that is. I was having confusion that here in 17th shloka is they produce the gold called hataka, and then before they drink it in Atala planet, they drink a drug of hataka. So I'm confusing both are same or not. So no one asked the reason.
That fluid also
No, that is hataki. That when fluid is heated and then it become gold. I think that gold is hatak. Tantrish. Okay. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Bhagavatam ki jai. Vishnu Vasudeva Jai.